Hey there, how's it going? What's up, everybody? Just wanted to talk about a few people who have some extra special speed at their position or some particular attribute that stands out and makes them a special person in MUT and can make your team significantly better. Significantly position-wise, someone like a Tyreek Hill, especially if you're just trying to grind solos and are just able to get your hands on a lower value one and just get him up through training points. I know he was always someone who everyone had to have on their team at the beginning of the year. I think that's probably still the case. I know Randy Moss is now just absolutely amazing, but with the things that Tyree can do after he catches the ball around the line of scrimmage, he can get gone like he does in the normal NFL on Sundays. It's going to be amazing to see what he can actually do in the playoffs. That would be the 10th, I guess, most unicornish player in MUT right now. The next person that I wanted to look at number 9, Franco Harris. He can just do quite a few things, and he can do about anything that you would want a fullback to be able to do. He's boosted up a little bit. I think I have West Coast on him actually because I use him quite a bit in pass coverage and out of the backfield. With 91 speed, I have Sprinter on him as well. But he can just do a few things that other people can't. I have Devlin in there because he blocks like an offensive lineman and he's huge. It's really quite wonderful as well. But Franco is definitely the way to go. If you just have the opportunity to get your hands on one person, even one of the lower levels of him, I think will probably get it done for you because he'll be able to catch the ball better than most, and he can probably, or he can block just as well on the outside. If you're trying to block him up the middle, he's not perfect for that, but if you pass the ball a lot, he's probably the person that you want. At number 8, Lane Johnson, the way that he's able to move, and with him being a team diamond as well, you can boost up two different areas with him. Just wanted to double check that real quick. Have West Coast and Zone Run. Have those both up to 30. Been able to do that with a no money spent. With a pass block finesse at 99 and 80 speed. He is just someone that you have to have. He can do those stretches on the outside with tosses. He's just able to get out a little bit further. He has to move in different ways, even though he might not be the one that's pulling. He's just able to get out and get to that block. Then I wanted to look at Randy Moss. I don't have the top version of him at this point. I'm just waiting a few more days so I can get him up with training as well, in the same way that I'm waiting on Barry Sanders. Wanted to look at the top version of him, but just show you what I had. He's got the 94 speed with Sprinter, 99 spec catch, and 99 deep route running. He's not my number one go down the field guy. He's kind of my second, and definitely the guy that I want to throw the high point passes to. I'm still figuring out how to do that a little bit better, have other people do that to me significantly more than what I do it to them, so I need to work on that a little bit. At number 6, Barry Sanders. With being able to get to the 98, 99 speed, depending on what kind of chemistries and Madden you can put with him, he is absolutely amazing. He's one of those people, as I get a little bit farther up the list, and he's one of those that you might be able to keep towards the end of the year and just kind of play with this version of him and actually have a top-end team with him. Lower down the ladder, I played with just the power up Barry. I think he went up to the 89 and then you could put in his 91. He was absolutely fantastic. Want to go over, probably going to be a pause here if you check it out on YouTube. 3 more of those guys were selling, like what I was talking about earlier. Then when we go over here, we can just probably type it in and get there faster. Did that with Watt earlier, and that was nice to be able to just narrow that down a little bit further. Of course, it's not going to be the cheapest one. It's 96. Yeah. I mean, that looks right in line with everything that I have powered up. So if you are fortunate enough to have pulled him, definitely keep him for as long as possible. I know with the training, this value probably went down because I know it was over 1.5 million for a while, and he's not coming out of packs because he was limited time. So do what you can to get your hands on Barry because he is absolutely amazing. He plays like the pinball that he was. I know he's a little bit smaller back, so you need to use him maybe alongside Ricky Williams, but since you have Ricky Williams, you don't necessarily need the power back. You can just kind of go with him. Looking at Randy. He's still the over 1.5 because he doesn't have the training out there yet. But yeah, that 95 speed, he is just dangerous. Yeah, and he just, if you're able to get your hands on him and we're fortunate enough to pull him, he's just an asset that you just want to have and keep. A few more of those selling from earlier. Value was down a little bit on those in the 16 to 1800 range, which still isn't terrible, and you're still making double your money back. So I really think that's one of the things that you should be doing, just flipping that snow for coins earlier. I'll have the link in the description for that video that came out a little bit earlier. A guy that is kind of sunk down the list a little bit because of kind of the position that he plays and other people that are coming out. Even with like Ed Reed and Dawkins, they're able to get up to the 98 speed if you have the right chems. So him being at 98 speed and just having the 99 zone, 99 man, if I would have lockdown on him, he would have that. I actually have the run stuff on him, same with Champ Bailey, because I have the Redskins passing chem, so that has been really helpful. Even if you're not necessarily a fan of the team, if you're able to put on something with them, just get a couple of jerseys or just have the stadium and then have something else show up when you actually play the games, that works really well. The next person, which would be number 4, is Lawrence Taylor, 92 speed with a few chems, sprinter, namely, and the 99 power move just makes him absolutely dangerous. He, again, is just one of those people that you can have until the end of the game. Same with Dion, he's absolutely amazing. Then, even though I don't have him as my starter, I know this might not necessarily be the most popular choice, but Ray Lewis I have at number 3. Just things that he's able to do. As you can see, I don't even have any chems on him to necessarily stop the run. I have the lockdown on him and then the sprinter, and he's fast enough to be able to do most anything that you need to have him do. He's a little bit shorter at 6'1", but having the lockdown, you can get him up to 88 zone coverage. Having all the team captain tokens, that is. The player that came out that this past Saturday, I don't think that he quite stacks up to him. I think Ray Lewis is the team captain to have, or Shannon Sharp, depending on how you use your tight ends. I was really hoping that the Shannon Sharp that came out would be a little bit better at run blocking, but he was not. This Ray Lewis, I think, is the best run stopping. I know that he is the best run stopping middle linebacker, and with how many people have been able to do that and take advantage of different run sequences recently, I think he's a player that you just need to have. And since I have him as my captain, I'm going to be able to rock with him until the end of the year, and he's going to be absolutely wonderful for me. A reason that my coin stack is a little bit lower than it normally is I kind of splurged and went out, and got Khalil Mack. What he's able to do from the defensive line position is absolutely amazing. If I run like a 3-3-5 or something like that, which isn't really my base defense, he can be the one lineman that's actually in there and then put Clowney and Taylor out as defensive ends. And I can keep up with most any quarterback that's in the game, even the Michael Vicks. Unless you have a Falcons or one of the many teams that Vic played on, they're going to be able to be just as fast. And I was going to actually have Khalil Mack as number 1, but then I saw a tweet, I think that Gut Fox just liked, or maybe he retweeted it, of Michael Vick running in a circle backwards and throwing the ball 50 yards down the field. And I've actually seen that happen more than once or twice. He is absolutely phenomenal. I've kind of invested in the quarterback position a little bit too much, especially for no money spent squad. I do have Mahomes as the backup, but with how fast Vic is, I don't like playing with left-handed quarterback, but he's just better than everybody else. And quarterback's the player that touches the ball every snap on offense. At defense, players can kind of get thrown away. A 90 speed defensive lineman or linebacker, those players can consistently show up. But Michael Vick's just going to be more dynamic. He's just there. He could be at even 96 speed. Luckily, I have the 99 version of him, which is just absolutely fantastic for me to have and not had to spend any money to get here. I have been grinding since the beginning of the year, but just been able to acquire him by playing solos and doing a few other things. Excuse me one second. But yeah, I think everyone on that list that I have, I'm powered up and invested in heavily. I've done a few other players outside of them to kind of boost the chemistries, have acquired a few other things to make them look a little bit better like rising stars, but mostly just focused on them and built around them. Randy was one of my first wide receivers. I just powered him up until his legend card got a lot cheaper with some of the promos that have came out. That really happens kind of quickly. If you just wait a little bit longer, you can get some of these players. Or if you just are a little bit farther, I guess wait a week and they'll be significantly cheaper. Your coin stack won't go down, and then when you resell them, if you don't necessarily, if they don't fit your scheme, you won't lose nearly as much. These players, I guess, that I've had the opportunity to play with, if there are other players that you think might kind of fit this role, definitely let me know down below. I really think these are the players that I think everyone should go after. These are the players that people are talking about outside of the players that everyone has. Everyone has Shazier, Ricky Williams, and the captains. The captain that I have, I think, is significantly better. Shannon Sharp, I think other players are going to be able to do what he can further down the line, and he isn't the amazing person that he's eventually going to be, and by the time I think that gets there, it'll eventually catch up. Ray Lewis is a little bit ahead of everyone else, and I think he's ahead of Bobby Wagner, I think by a little bit as well, to have just that guy that can roam around by himself. But yeah, make sure you go out and check out the coins video. Gonna have that link down below. Presents will be awesome for that tomorrow morning if you're able to log on. I know a lot of people are off work. Sadly, I have to go in. But yeah, recording this over on Twitch. Make sure you come over and check that out. Wednesdays, 5:30, probably gonna go for about an hour. Saturday mornings, 9:30, probably gonna go for about an hour then. And then a little bit later on in the day, 12:30 to 1, and on Sundays, 8:30 to 9. Those are all Eastern time. I'm going to try to get videos out daily here. Probably most of them are going to come for Twitch, because that's how I figured out how to record so far. But yeah, like and subscribe if you like what I have. Take care, everybody.